friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the E2Blu Sports Report. Without you guys, man, this literally does not work. We're already open for business here. We've got the football gods awake and everything else, and we are ready to rock and roll. I see Beto Sanchez and Brian SoCal already in the house here. Welcome to the show. And before I get to our Dallas Cowboys, Redskin highlight, I'm sorry I have not gotten back to you, man. Been busy as can be. Deontay Skaggs, sorry, man, I have been, like I'm seeing everybody. Everybody's like, I emailed you. Earl Thomas. Really? Earl Thomas? Okay. Before I get to our Dallas Cowboys, this is hard, man, because I know exactly what Law Nation is feeling right now. I've been doing this channel originally started in 2012. I didn't really start doing as much stuff as I did until I started doing the Benet Emery show in like 2014 or 2015. The channel didn't really take off until really about 2016, thanks to my quarterback, my teammate, Dak Prescott. And since really, I guess the beginning of the year before, I basically started doing videos pretty much on a daily basis. And it's become part of my life, literally. And when you do this so much, like Miss Jackie, you know, sends me text messages with information and stuff on it and things to make sure that I've got everything. You guys become like family. And it becomes part of your everyday life. I mean, I wake up in the morning and the first thing I'm thinking about is the Dallas Cowboys, because I got to make sure that I have the latest news and that it's as accurate as possible for me bringing it to you. It is literally part of my life. It's just like breathing. But you have very little control over the platform. We've had my other channels now been shut down 3 times. I don't know if I'll ever get that one back again. It's been several weeks and I actually haven't heard anything. But today, you know, Law Nation, you know, another one of the great YouTubers out there and stuff, his channel got demonetized. It's still running ads on it, but he's not getting paid for it anymore. And he's gone through the whole thing, and basically YouTube is saying that you can't do highlights. And because you're using other video, you know, that's been previously posted, sorry, you're not getting paid for it. And understand, you're not making a living off of this. But when I get paid for doing the stuff that I do on here, you guys know that I put a lot of money back into this. I run 3 computers for doing this channel. There's 3 computers I am using physically doing this. I've got 2 monitors here for you guys to, you know, to be able to do stuff. I've got 2 Skypes going. I've got lighting that I've done. I've built these cabinets and things. But I do it not because I'm getting paid to do it. I do it because I love doing this. This is my thing. But when stuff like that happens, and see, for me, it's easy because I do reports on what's happening. I don't do film breakdown. But when you do film breakdown, you're talking about hours of time putting that together and editing and getting it done. Literally what Law Nation has to do right now is go through, and every video that he's done that's a film breakdown is get rid of it. So he can try and basically start all over. And that's the sad part about this is there's no rhyme, reason, or not even a warning. Literally they just shut you down, just like with me. I didn't have any idea that the 21st of March that they were going to shut down my channel, that I was doing anything wrong, and I still don't know what I was doing wrong. So, you know, thoughts out to Law Nation. Go through. He's got a second channel, Law Nation 2.0. Go through there. You know, if you're a fan of laws, make sure you go through there, and subscribe to it. Ring the bell, so that way you can get, you know, your information and stuff from them. But for all I know, the same thing could happen to me tomorrow. And that's the bad thing about this, is that you literally just don't have any control. At least I have the Vimeo, so if something does happen to my channel here, make sure that you go to Facebook, E2Blu Sports Report, as well as to Vimeo, E2Blu Sports Report, so that way you can get all your information and stuff. So Here we are, guys. We are only 142 days, 23 hours, 8 minutes, and 45 seconds away from kickoff of the 2019 season. I apologize because, guys, sometimes I have brain farts and I'm still living in the past, and I will end up saying 2018. I'm still writing that's true. I'm still that old. I still write checks. But on my checks, sometimes I'll still write 2018. When you get to be 53 years old, you'll start having some of this dementia and things like I do. So just understand, when I butcher up a name, when I have a little brain fart, it's just what it is. Oh, what's up with the red T-shirt? Hey, man, this is the red. Hey, I'm the quarterback. You got to lay off the quarterback. You can't hit this guy, okay? But the Dallas Cowboys are back on the field today. Well, okay, technically. Yo, Dickie, I still haven't sent out the stuff yet. That stuff will all go out this week and stuff. The Cowboys have started not OTA. Boy, I'm just really screwing up. They have started conditioning work at the Star, conditioning and rehab. They can't start working with coaches and stuff yet, but they can work with trainers and getting themselves together. And I got to say, I absolutely, positively love this because the players seem to be chomping at the bits. The players seem to want to get out there and get together. Now, here's a great thing for the Dallas Cowboys, and that you didn't, or at least I never thought about it. Let's take the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay, Wisconsin. Very small market. It's cold as can be in Green Bay. When it snows in Green Bay, it snows like a mother. Now here I am, I'm in the Northern Virginia area, and it's like 70 degrees right now. Like in Chicago, they got 5 inches of snow yesterday. So it's still cold up in Green Bay. I'm the greatest saying, respect me so much. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. Stupid ads. Yeah, see, look at that. Them boys, that's what I'm talking about. YouTube putting those ads on us so they get paid and everything else, but then they're messing around with the rest of us. What's happening, Manuel from Vegas, man? I'd love to be in Vegas right now. But here's the thing. Green Bay, as part of their players' contracts, it's costing them $5.7 million this year for workout bonuses. They're paying their guys to come in to work out. So we're giving you a little bit extra because it's Green Bay. We know you don't live here. It's cold. You'd rather be in Florida or Arizona or, any place else. So they're paying in roster bonuses to the guys to be there. 20 players on the Packers are making that extra $5.7 million in the offseason. Our Dallas Cowboys, because most of them live in the Dallas Metroplex area, they got zero money going to workout bonuses. Zero. And even Zeke Elliott, who is scheduled to make actually $3.9 million this year, who, am I getting Victor a shower gift? Yeah, I hadn't thought about it, but yeah, we'll send him like some baby booties or something. How about that? But even Zeke Elliott, who was talking about holding out because he won a new contract, he's there. He's working out. He's getting in shape. And I feel like these guys really and truly want to be on the field. They are hungry, and they are ready to rock and roll. And the best sight that you had is this one right here. To see Travis Frederick back on the field. Oh. Guys, this is where I differ with my man Vosh. Vosh is like my kid. Or one of my many kids that I should say. Okay? He's my adopted son, so to speak. Okay, he won't claim me, but I'm gonna claim him. His thing is man, we got to draft offensive line. We got to get offensive linemen and stuff. But I'm just like, but we're gonna add an All-Pro back to our line. That alone is a major improvement. I say that Zach Martin's knee is going to be better from where it was, where he literally hurt it in training camp and bothered him all season. Lyle Collins is getting that rotator cuff. I know he does not like Lyle Collins, but I'm okay. And I know he's like, why are you settling and everything for offensive line? If we score 10 more points, then we don't lose any games. Well, yeah, but you know what? If we get 1 or 2 turnovers more a game, we don't lose any games either. And I look at how much improvement has been done to the offensive side of the ball from the beginning of last year, when we started out with the worst wide receiving core in the NFL. Now we got some speed. Now we got Amari Cooper. And Amari Cooper, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Think about having him working out now with Dak Prescott. Think about him working out all offseason and learning the playbook. Think about how they're going to get on a better page. Think about having Jason Witten as a security blanket, a guy that we can dump the ball off when it's, blitzing and things. I believe that we're going to be better, that much better on offense, just because we've got all of these guys together. And here's the great thing. The only person who's getting work done right now is Lyle Collins. Now, I know Vosh wants all pros at every single position on the offensive line, but that's not rational to be able to do that. We already put more money in the offensive line than anybody else in football. I just want to have that beast on the line. And I've got my man E2Blu, who's going to be calling in tonight. We're going to go ahead and talk to him, and we're going to get his picks of the 1 and 3 technique guys, his top 5. But I'm okay with the Dallas Cowboys in the position that they're in to be able to draft the best player available. Now, one thing that you'll notice here on my man Amari Cooper is his shirt. It says Driven. This is Jason Garrett's latest moniker for the season. We've heard, the other ones, Finish the Fight, let's see. What's some of the other ones? Finish the Fight, Rededicate. We'll see how this one works. But I like Driven because I feel like these guys are actually driven this year. I believe these guys are totally different. I think that they're hungry. I think they want to show the world. And I think they're going to be ready to rock and roll. We never draft a D tackle, though. And there's a lot of things that we haven't done before that maybe we need to. Well, I'm sorry you don't like the camera angle, Freddie. But this angle is going to be better when I end up bringing in E2Blu because you'll be able to see him better with me. So it is what it is. I mean, if it makes you happy, I'll change up for you. And I can zoom up that way. But I kind of like that angle because this is my good side over here. Redskins fan, take a joke. Oh, okay. Well, I tell you what, I actually did another one. I did had some pork meatballs and took some zucchini and made like shells tonight for dinner. Oh, that was good. Oh, that was really good. Russell Wilson won't save the Giants. Now here's a funny one. While I'm waiting for E2Blu to get in here, let me get my headphones so when he calls, I'll hear it. Somebody started tweeting me and saying they heard on NFL Network a rumor about Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott being traded for each other. I was like, nah, that ain't real. That ain't real because if that was something real, the internet would have literally exploded with that whole thing. That was like, that ain't it. No. What?
Well, if he goes anywhere, he's going to go to the Giants.
The Giants or the Jets?
Well,
she just wants to be in New York.
Either one.
Well,
he's not going to the Dallas Cowboys.
I agree, because the Cowboys don't want to pay him that much.
Yeah,
Not when they've got... Because here's the thing. Here's what's funny.
You don't want to pay Dak that much either.
Yeah, I said zucchini. Actually, I was sitting here. Here's how... I'm so busy in life here. This is actually some of it right here. Some of my stuffed shells that are... It's zucchini sliced real thin with like a cheese. With ricotta cheese, like a stuffed shell. I'm so busy that I realized about 7:30. It's like, oh my God, I didn't cook dinner. So I hurried up and cooked some of that. So it's you'll love those meatballs, Mike. Those meatballs are the bomb. So I hurried up and cooked that, and it was just ready literally about 15 minutes before I went on air. So sorry, I didn't mean to eat in front of you, but I'll do some more cooking videos. Although I do have some people that get mad when I don't do. It's like, this is a cowboy channel. Why are you talking about Tiger Woods? Why are you doing cooking? It's like, look, this channel is Joe Boo Sports Report and Mark Holmes. And so I put on it what I like to put on it. And I have a lot of people who like some of my cooking. I got some people that are also interested in, seeing history being made again with Tiger Woods coming back and winning the Masters. So sorry if it doesn't do it for you. Hopefully E2 will get in here. Or is he going to do what he usually does and show up late?
That's black people time. Black people are always late.
Michael, that's you realize you're one too, right?
I know, but I'm on time.
Okay, then not everybody's late. It's got nothing to do with color, man. Just E2 is just E2. So
I know some black people that are late.
all right, so we're just waiting for E2 to get in here. Dak's not going anywhere. Now here's the funny thing though, and if you don't believe me, go through and look it up. Don't trust just what you hear. Do your own research and find out if it is in fact true or not. But here's what's interesting. If you take Russell Wilson's statistics and compare his first 3 years to Dak Prescott numbers are better. Yeah, we got you, E2. As soon as it started ringing, I picked up. There you are, E2 in the house. How you doing?
I'm about to say, I called you like 3 times.
That was the first time it showed up, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So how you doing? Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Daniel Bradbury, thank you very much for the super chat. Okay, how you doing tonight, man?
I'm all right. What's going on, man? What's going on?
What's going on, man? The Cowboys, man. The Cowboys are working out today, man. Today.
I'm loving.
Zeke Elliott showed up.
Did you see the pics of him working with his wide receivers?
No, I didn't see those ones. I saw Travis Frederick. And I saw my man Amari Cooper. Mike, when we saw Amari Cooper, did Amari Cooper look? He looked like he was a little bit thicker than he was when we saw him in Chantilly. And they got the new motto is driven.
I really didn't see.
Yeah, he's been working out. He's definitely been working out.
I got to tell you, I think that these guys are chomping at the bit and really want to get out there, man.
Yeah, I mean, they're ready to. And you got to understand that window. Well, the window for Jerry Jones is closing. So Jerry Jones wants the team to get in there now. They're going all in right now. They're doing things that they haven't done before, which is a good thing. Because what they're doing now is going to work for now and the future, and I'm all in.
Well, I tell you what, I'm excited as can be, but, we're only a week and a half away from the draft. So a week and a half away from about 40 pounds of chicken wings.
What's going on, everybody in the chat box? How y'all doing?
Are you ready for that, man?
Oh, yes.
For me, this is sad.
We're doing Lucky's, right?
Actually, Michael was thinking that maybe the first night we should do it actually here in the man cave.
No, I said Lucky's.
What?
I said Lucky's and then the.
Oh, Lucky's the first night, and then here the other two. Okay, we'll forget.
Yeah, because I think the first one's gonna be more important, so we could do that one at Lucky's and then finish out the rest of it at your house. I think that would be kind of cool.
Okay, well, we'll get either way. We'll be on. We'll be definitely on and doing some stuff. So Friday night we had I had Foots that was coming in, and Foots was talking about safeties because in my mind I was thinking that the amount of safeties that get drafted typically when you have a year where you have a lot of safeties that are taken, the next year it goes way down. And the last 2 years we had 7 in 2017 and we had 5 in 2018. That chances are that you would probably be having, I would say, the second or third best safety still on the board by the time we drafted. Now, for me, Forget Vosh. Vosh wants all pros, number one draft picks across the offensive line, and I don't think that that's the way we're going to go. For me, for
No.
once, I'm praying that Jerry, listen to me. Okay, just listen.
I'm a firm believer of you can't have a stake on every plate. You got to have some guys to be your supporting cast.
Thank
You. Know
you. What I
like
really want.
You got to have guys.
Well, what I really want, and I think the thing that's missing on the defensive line is that one technique monster, and we don't believe in one technique monsters.
Well, a lot of guys in this draft this year are, to me, look like they're, after doing some studying on these guys, they look kind of versatile. Some guys are three techniques. Some guys can play both. There's some guys that in college they played both in out of necessity, but their natural positions are either three or one technique. But they're inside guys definitely, and these guys have been actually providing push on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
These guys have been, run stuffers. They've been getting sacks on the inside. That's what you want. You want your guys to be able to get sacks on the inside, and that's hard to do because again, that position they're space eaters, and like you said, you like a trash can full of dirt. But
no, wait. That's Vosh. He's always claiming that that's what you want as a trash. No, I want a fire hydrant that can get upfield.
Hey, what's going on, Coco? I see you in the chat.
I know I can't pronounce that, but what is that? Hanjamin? Thank you very much for the super chat.
Did he say Dez Bryant reunion?
No, man. We don't. Man, look. Can we stop with the Dez Bryant, the Tony Romo? Those guys ain't coming back. They ain't coming back. Let it go. I'm just happy that we don't have any offseason drama right now. Because every year, last year it was Dez. The year before it was Tony Romo if he was going to go into the Texans or to Denver or whatever. And before that it was DeMarco Murray. It was always some offseason. We ain't got no drama. We ain't got no drama now. Now that we got, there's Vosh. Vosh crashed the party last week.
There's no answer.
Yo, Vosh is hilarious. That's my boy though. Shout out to Vosh.
Vosh, of course, he always brings the heat and everything. So, we all know what I want. I either want a safety or I want a defensive lineman for our first pick.
I want safety with that first pick, but I think that depending on what's going to happen, they can go either way. Because there's plenty of defensive tackles in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing them, we know the Cowboys don't necessarily like to draft defensive tackles. They like to get them in free agency. But I think that if we go by history, I think the Cowboys are going to go with a safety on that first pick for their first pick.
You think they're going to go? Okay. All right. Well, we talked about safeties on Friday. I want to talk about defensive tackles. And I've got your top 5. And your first one was Quentin Williams, correct?
Yeah, first of all, Quentin Williams is a beast. I mean, not just because he plays for Alabama, but he's 6'3", 302 pounds with 33 and a quarter inch arms and about 9.5 inch hands. Now, this guy, his 40 time was he ran a 4.8. Now, you look at these guys when you're anything over 280 and you're running anything under 5. That's actually phenomenal for a defensive guy. That's pretty fast. These guys nowadays are you look at guys back in the day, Mark, they were running like high 5s and 6s and things of that nature. They're not getting in
running. Running?
Right. They're running?
What do you mean running? Okay, maybe rolling downhill would be about it, but yeah. Okay.
He's definitely a top 10 pick. He might go in the top 5 depending on how these quarterbacks come off the board. He's definitely not going to be in the running for the Cowboys because we don't have a first round pick. But like I said, he's definitely going in that top 10.
Okay.
There's no way he's coming out of that top 10. His combine workout was reminiscent to what Aaron Donald did. You look at the push that Aaron Donald and how he's progressed in his NFL career. That's a hell of a comparison right there. But Quentin Williams is much taller than he is. But with the way that they work and their leverage, these guys both are very similar in the way that they're the balance that they have and the leverage that they use to get past these offensive linemen to shoot the gaps to get to the quarterback. I mean, these guys are phenomenal. In 2018, he totaled 71 tackles with 19.5 tackles for loss. He had 8 sacks. 8 sacks and 1 pass breakup. He's definitely more disruptive, in my opinion, than what his numbers show. This guy, he's always in the backfield. He's definitely in quarterback spaces. And, you know, with those quarterback pressures, sometimes they're not always counted.
Okay. Do you think he'll be there of course he won't be there by the time we draft.
No. He's going to top 10. He's not going to, Cowboys are not going to be able to get him, unfortunately. But yeah, he is the best defensive guy in this draft.
Okay. All right.
Now when you talk about tackles, now if you want to talk about ends, everybody's on Nick Bosa, but whatever.
Well, we know we don't have a chance for that one. Okay.
Oh no, not.
All right. So then next up we got Ed Oliver.
Ed Oliver, yes, defensive tackle out of Houston. He's about 6'1". He weighs 287, with an arm reach of 31.7 inches. His hands 19 and a quarter. I mean 9 and a quarter, not 19. 9 and a quarter. His 40 time was he ran a 4.7, and he had 32 reps on the bench. He's projected in the top 25, so he could go late in the late first. Like I said, depending on how these other safeties and things go in the draft. But he's compared to both John Randall and Warren Sapp.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
He has great speed and a high motor. He still produces despite being double teamed. He doesn't get washed out of plays like some guys do when they get double teamed. He was a junior, totaling 54 tackles, 14 and a half tackles for loss, 3 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 2 passes batted. He had a knee injury, and he didn't play in the bowl game. So they were looking at his medicals and stuff. So I think that he was dropping a little bit because of his knee injury. So he might. I mean, worst case scenario, he might can go in the high second round, but that still might be a little bit too rich because he's picking at 58.
Unless the Cowboys decide to package up a couple and reach for a guy they feel is an impact guy. Okay.
They could, but I wouldn't reach for that one if I was.
He looks a little. You have his stats on. He looks a little bit light.
Yeah, he's
about 300.
They said that at the NFL level,
What is he about 300?
287.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say he looks a little bit light. See, I kind of like that guy that's a little bit, kind of like me, fat.
287.
287. Okay. I mean, he can move. He's got a motor and stuff like that. The thing I worry about though is when you start getting in there. Like I said, he's got a great bull rush in there. Looking at these highlights and stuff on it, but I still kind of think we need a body that's a little bit heavier because we got Antoine Woods there. We got Covington and things that can go into there. We've got Collins, and all those guys are all right around about 300, 310. I'd almost like to have a guy that might have just a little bit more mass to him just to make sure he can hold up. Because when we saw what happened to us against the Colts and the Rams, I think we need just a guy that something like, well, I hate to say Vosh says, a trash can full of dirt.
That was his cons because he was kind of light in the ass, but he makes up for it by being extremely fast at the point of attack, and he explodes in his fast to get through the gaps. He's definitely a guy that uses speed more than anything. He's more athletic than he is a power guy.
Well, it definitely sounds like a Rod Martinelli type guy because Rod Martinelli, they like guys that have some length to them. William Miners, thank you very much for the super chat. They definitely like a guy that's got length, and they like guys that have speed because they do so much stunting and stuff like that. Bosch says he'll take a one technique in the 4th. Okay. Next up, you've got Christian Watkins.
Christian Watkins, defensive tackle out of Clemson. Some people say he's a 3, but others say he's a 1 tech. He's 6'3", 315 pounds.
Yeah, he can put some more beef on him.
Yeah,
but he moves. I tell you what, for a guy that size, he moves actually pretty well. He looked a little like Aaron Donald in the face there.
Who?
He looked at the picture, the clip.
Oh, he does. Right there, he does. Yeah. Right there, he does. Yeah. He's projected top 20. Very athletic defensive tackle for his size, though. He's fluid in the way that he attacks. He combines his leverage to get to the quarterback. Very very dominant. He's a guy. He's that guy that I don't know if you remember when Clemson won. He was that
Uh-huh.
guy that was dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. He's a fool. He's like a Joe Looney type of guy.
Okay. All right. Your sound just
He
did you
told
change? Did
well
you?
in 2018 he had 50 tackles, 14 for loss,
Uh-huh.
5.5 sacks, and a forced fumble. Again, another guy that's always in line for the quarterback. He plays. He because of necessity he had to play in, but in is not his natural position. He's definitely.
You
Can you hear me?
your sound changed up. You were really really clear. Now you sound like you're back up underwater. Did you do
Can you
something?
hear me now?
I can hear you. It was clearer about a minute or so ago. You just
Oh,
sound like you're a little bit underwater.
hold on. Can you hear? Is it better now?
It's the same, but it's all right. It's cool. No, you're good. You were a lot better before, but go ahead.
I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Okay. Um, I'm sorry, but the inside is his natural position. He only played in his last year because out of necessity, because there were guys, there were definitely guys that that for injury purposes.
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to play this guy in because he's not gonna get off that edge. He's a guy that's going to get swamped on some double teams. So,
Yeah, see that's my kind of guy right there. I mean, he's a load coming through there, but he gets a hell of a push. And I tell you what, he's making some of them offensive linemen look like dwarfs.
yeah, and that, like I said, that inside, that is his bread and butter right there.
And where's he projected to go, or where do you think he'll go?
Top 20.
Okay, so you basically give me all guys that we don't have a chance at. Okay, all right, and then
But
finally we've got you got
but
more
again,
on
the
him.
way that this, you said what?
You have more on him.
No, that's all I got on him.
Okay, and then your next guy was Jones.
But if you wanna compare him to, I would say that he's like Aaron Donald as well because he has a very strong lower body.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not a guy that's going to get bullied or punked off the line very very easily on that inside.
Okay, so we got Draymond Jones up now.
Yeah, Draymond, Ohio State. Ohio State guys.
Mm-hmm.
We love Ohio State guys.
Another one of these guys with a nice a lot of length to him.
This guy he's projected late first, through the mid second. He can be there for the Dallas Cowboys depending on how these guys come off the board because a lot of teams are going to be picking up these ends, so some of these tackles are going to be pushed down outside of Quentin Williams. Quentin Williams is going top, but anything other than him and Ed Oliver, some of these guys are going to fall.
Right,
so,
and that's the thing
and
one of these guys may definitely be there.
It's the reason why I chose them because these guys are gonna these guys are definitely gonna they're not gonna all be in the top. You know what I mean? Like that's where they were projected.
Mm-hmm.
But again, things change. The guys have medical issues. One of these guys has a torn ACL.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah. All right.
I'll tell you what. Looking at him, you know what he reminds me of?
Who?
Draymond reminds me of. He kind of reminds me of David Irving.
Yeah.
Build wise and the way because he's got that length and everything else. Body wise, it looks like he's got a nice tight body. Yeah. It's not a lot of fat and everything else on it.
He has very long arms. His arms is 33.
Mm-hmm.
33-inch arms.
All right, man. He looks like a beast. He may definitely be able to fall. Well, depending, it's crazy because you never know how the draft's going to shape up. You might have a run on quarterbacks, go figure, or edge rushers or offensive linemen. So, that's what I'm hoping that we end up getting one of these guys that are projected to be a first rounder that for whatever reason they slip back to us. He was pretty
productive. I mean, he got 8.5 sacks. On the inside, dude. Like
he split that double team nicely and took that stripped that ball. Damn. Okay. All right, and the final guy that you got is, let me see, Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah, Jeffrey Simmons. That's the one I told you he tore his ACL. So he was projected to go late first round, but he's gonna go. He's sliding because he tore his ACL. So he's gonna be red shirted like your shirt that you got on, brother.
Okay, but see, I need somebody who can play now. I'm trying to get that Super Bowl this season. But tell me what you got on him.
Anyway, he's six. But again, if the Cowboys want to take a flyer on him, I mean, he's 6'4", he's 301. In his last year of school, he had 63 tackles, 17 for loss, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 4 passes batted. Despite seeing a lot of double teams, he still had some pretty decent numbers. And
damn, he looks like an oversized linebacker.
Yeah, when I tell you, dude, like he's very disruptive on the interior, and he uses his burst, and he's light on his feet. You know, he's not heavy foot. He's very smooth in his direction, and he uses a lot of swim moves and blocks to get past these offensive linemen.
He's definitely a beast. But when did he tear his ACL? Early in the season or late in the season?
Actually, in preparation for the combine.
Okay. All right. So Vosh, he's given us his 5 picks.
He's been compared to Ndamukong Suh.
Yeah, but I need a guy that we can plug in this year, though, man. And, you know, the Cowboys love getting these injured guys.
I put him in as honorable mention because I mean, he's a Mississippi State guy. I kind of like him.
All right, so do you have guys that you think might be there other than these guys late in the second round, or you think we're better off trying to look at safety?
Other than Jeffrey, I look at Draymond and Christian can be there.
Okay.
But like I said, there's a lot of defensive ends in this draft that are good. So some of these guys are going to slide. Outside of Quentin Williams and Ed Oliver, of course. But these other guys, 3 through 5 can slide.
Right. Yeah, the question will be is
like
how's that draft shape up?
I'm thinking that the way the draft is going right now, the Cowboys are going to get that safety. I think that's more where it makes more sense right now. Because again, we know that the Cowboys don't value defensive tackles that high.
No, they don't. But and like, you know, Vosh believes that we can get a good defensive tackle in the 4th round, and probably we can.
I believe it.
You know that there are a lot of defensive tackles and things in there. I just want a game changer myself personally.
There's some raw defensive tackles in this draft too.
And if you end up getting in with Rod Marnelli has a way of really kind of, you know, getting the most out of guys, out of everybody it seems, but Taco.
Yeah.
All right, so your general manager.
We talking about Taco. This offseason is huge for Taco. Taco is make or break for him. I mean, if he's going to shine, this is going to be his time to shine. Because you got Dorrance Armstrong breathing down his neck right now. Because if he doesn't shape up this summer, who knows? You know, he also had that shoulder surgery.
That's what I was going to say. That,
Antoine Wood. You know, a lot of these guys had the same surgery. So we'll see what happens this year, you know.
Yeah, and I heard about that today, that it's not the one he had hurt before. It's actually the other shoulder that he kind of nicked up a bit. You know, it's funny because we're kind of hearing, like, you know, we heard Lyle Collins had surgery back in February. We just heard about that last week. We know Byron Jones had the hip flexor, and, of course, DeMarcus Lawrence had the rotator cuff. The labrum operated on his shoulder, of course, last Wednesday. So hopefully these guys will be ready to rock and roll by training camp and hopefully can start playing. If you were the general manager, if you were Jerry Jones or Will McClay, what would be your goals for this draft?
As far as positions of
as positions, what would be your priority, and how would you try and go about it?
Well, like I said, safety is my first priority right now. I know Vosh wants an offensive lineman, but you can get one. You could get one, which I think that they're going to get an offensive lineman with one of the 4th picks.
Well, here's my thing. Now,
I say safety. I say safety, defensive tackle, offensive lineman. No, running back, offensive lineman. So your 2-4 pick could be one could be a running back, one could be an offensive lineman. You could go center there, or you can go left.
Okay, here's my thing, and Vosh, you can chime in on this or not. My thinking is, by the time we get to 58, the offensive lineman that you're going to probably draft, I don't know that you're going to get somebody who's going to be better than Connor Williams or Lyle Collins right out the gate. Do you think somebody who's going to be that good right out the gate that'll supplement one or the other?
I don't think in a fourth, but I don't think they're looking to get a starter. They're definitely looking for somebody to back up. Remember, we still got Cam Fleming. We still got Suafilo.
Okay,
and we got
but
Joe
now Vosh says both of those guys are trash. He'd rather have somebody else better than both of those guys. So to your point,
I don't think you're going to get any. I don't think you're going to get anybody better than in the fourth one.
Well, to your point, you're probably not looking at a guy who's going to start. So I'm a civilian. I'm not answering questions. Okay, Vosh. All right, we still love you, man. We still love you. Jenkins is a starter. Okay, but you're not answering questions, so I'm wrong. Well, you know what, Nene. Everybody has their own opinion, and I'll give you my opinion, whether it's right or wrong. We'll have to wait and see if they follow it or not. But, I can believe what I want to believe. But I don't believe that you're going to necessarily get a starter in the second round for offensive line. I think at safety, you got a better chance of getting a guy who can start or make an impact day one, or even a defensive lineman. I could be wrong, but I still believe with 7 safeties taken 2 years ago, 5 taken last year, and how safety has been devalued with all those safeties that have been going around and stuff, that those guys, you may only see one safety before we go. And to me, if only one safety comes off the board, one of those other guys could be a potential starter for us, as opposed to getting an offensive lineman that may or may not be able to start and may not make that much of an impact. I'm looking for a bang.
But again, if it was my decision, my first pick is going safety. That's why I'm going with that. And let me tell you something. If Rat is there, ooh, Lord, you better take that.
All right. Okay. And if he's not there,
I like Thornhill too.
But we can trade Lyle Collins and draft the O-line.
That's not going to happen.
Vosh actually brought up a better point of actually holding on to Collins for one more year because of his contract.
And his injury.
That, you might get a 4th round compensatory pick. And if you look around at what the way football is actually being done, New England has figured this shit out. New England always gets 2, 3, 4 compensatory picks every year. In fact, they've got 12 picks in this draft, 3 of which are in the top 100. And for next year, they already have 2/3 and a 6. And if they let one other guy go, I think they'll end up having another 6th round draft pick. So you're talking about having an advantage of getting these other players, and that's where the Cowboys are beginning to learn how to play with free agency. In fact, I love what they've done with the guys because everybody's on that 1 year kind of a deal, prove it deal, so they're going to stay hungry. And if they play really, really well and they want too much money, you let them go and let them get the big contract and get a pick in return. So from that standpoint, I think we're looking pretty good. Now, I started doing something, and I'm going to continue doing this, is basically taking the NFC East and going through position by position and trying to basically give each team's best player on that and rank each position. Today I ended up starting out with quarterbacks, of course, because if you don't have a quarterback, you got nobody. And what was funny is I was doing my research. Bleeding Green, I think it is, was the website. It's an Eagle site. And I was looking at their rankings, just for the fun of it. Just for fun. I mean, we know we're homers, right? We're always going to be shaded towards the Dallas Cowboys. I get that. But it was so funny because their top 4 rankings, Carson Wentz, of course, first. Who do you think they had second?
I can only imagine. But tell me.
Alex Smith.
Wait, what?
Alex Smith. Okay. I was
so you mean you're going to have Case Keenum third?
I was like, he ain't even going to play this year. How you going to have him second? Okay. And when he got hurt, he had 10 TDs and 7 interceptions. Okay.
You know that's basically pure hate.
Okay. Now, you know who they had third?
Case King.
No, they had Eli. And then they had
Wow.
Dak Prescott. Keep in mind, Eli had the most yards at 4,200, but Dak had the most touchdown passes out of the whole group. Dak had the second best rating, and if you take his 6 touchdown rushes, he ended up having 7 more touchdowns than anybody else. And he also played more games than any of them.
No, I can see the Giants this year pulling a Baltimore Ravens, where they pulled him out like they did Flacco, and put in whatever rookie quarterback that they're going to draft this year.
But, the Giants, to me, I think that they're just trying to set up the season just to be a failure. That they're looking and saying, okay, we got a bunch of picks this year. Next year, let's get a bunch of picks. We'll get a new coach in here, let him pick a quarterback and everything else, and basically wipe the slate clean. That's what I think they're doing, and that's what I think the Washington Redskins should actually do, too, because they ain't got nothing but garbage there.
Well, you know what happens when Dak is disrespected, right? All he does is show up.
Oh, yeah.
And so he's going to respond with the, oh, for real? Okay. Let me show y'all what I can do.
Mm-hmm.
Dak's going to come out there. He's going to show the whole NFC East and the whole NFL that I came to win. And I look at it like this. Despite of all the stuff that we went through last year with Linehan calling crap plays and all the ups and downs this team went through, let me tell you something. Dak Prescott still prevailed. He still had great numbers. I mean, name me any other rookie that came in and started his first 3 years in the league that's done as much as Dak has done.
Oh,
I mean,
none of them. Nobody.
Because, you know, he's always compared to Russell Wilson. But, again, they had two different situations.
But you know what? Dak actually has better numbers because Russell Wilson, his first 3 years, I think 22 TD passes was his best. And he was always on the low side of 3,000 yards. I mean, of course, and he also had the best defense in football that took the ball away, which also helped him too. Now, here's what's interesting. Now, you know Carson Wentz is not ready for working out yet. That stress fracture that he had, which typically they say is 6 to 8 weeks to heal. We're going on like over 5 months, and that thing hasn't healed up yet. Are they in trouble?
I think so, and which doesn't make sense to me because why would you get rid of Nick Foles? And we know that Nick Foles is
$21 million
quarterback.
Yeah.
He's a system quarterback, but he works in that Eagles system. Why would you get rid of the guy that won you the Super Bowl, knowing that your starting quarterback is injured prone?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out what they're doing right now.
Well, you know, to me it seems like they're trying to hang on because they had to get rid of Nick Foles because they couldn't pay him $21 million. That was the bottom line. They were in cap hell. And they figured Nick wants to be a starter. We need to let him go and do the right thing. So, on hold. Did I put you on hold? There you go. Was that you?
Yeah.
Okay. Wentz has weak bones. Yeah, so Wentz is not ready to work out. I don't send me your hate mail when I say this. But it seems like he's got Tony Romoism already. You know, where it seems like he's constantly got injuries.
Already in his early career?
I think he does, man. I mean, think about it. He had the wrist injury in college. He had rib problems, okay? Then he had the knee. Now you got the back. I mean, as I was telling Philly 500, I'm going to go ahead and get him one of the old school operation games, and we're just going to put Wentz on it because it seems like we got you get something worked on. It's like, what's going to break on his ass next? It's operation, man. But, so, you know, the Eagles, I think they're going to be in trouble. I know I'm going to get some hate mail from that one, but you know what? You know it was a good one, though. Philly, you know it was a good one. But I'm so happy to see that our team is actually back out on the field and stuff. What are you looking forward to the most with the season coming up?
The fact that a lot of these players that didn't get a chance to work with Dak last offseason are getting a chance to do it. You got Amari Cooper here now.
Oh, my God.
Going to be in a full offseason with Dak. These wide receivers are coming back fresh. I really want to see what Allen Hurns can do coming back from that gruesome injury that he had. Because his team really likes him.
Yeah.
So I just want to see what his confidence level is when he comes back because I know that these wide receiver core they're all in on what they got. Now Cole Beasley was the odd man out because
Yeah, Kathy
he
Green.
basically
Kathy Green believes that we are Super Bowl contenders. You believe
oh
that
we
too?
definitely are. I believe that I am fully in agreement with that. But again, before we even make it to the Super Bowl, we have to finally win an NFC championship, and that's the bottom line at this point.
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, we've won it 2 out of the last 3 years. Shout out to everybody in here. I see Joseph Hartley. I see Tamara Parker, Malicious Cowboy 84. I see Raymond.
Hey, Mark,
Yes, sir.
Mark, his last name is Heatherly, not Hartley.
I've been saying Heatherly or man, oh, damn. Listen, I'm a name butcher. Okay.
It's Heatherly. It's okay. It's okay.
See, that's why I can understand. One, and I just got my eyes checked, so I'm getting glasses. They'll be in a couple of weeks and stuff because I can't. Yeah, I have to get the progressive lenses because I can't see up close and I can't see far away. So normally I have my reading glasses in here when I'm setting up. So
OG.
it's blurry. Two, I'm dyslexic and I just can't read. That's why I can't. I could never work for ESPN because I can't do a teleprompter.
And that's why you got your son here to help you out, bro.
You know, that's where I just have to just say what the hell's on my head. So they would be like, no, read the script. It's like, I can't read the script, man. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. You can't wait for D-Law to meet Wentz. Okay. Well, you know, Thursday we're supposed to get the schedule out. The thing I've kind of got a hint of on Rich Eisen's show was he asked DeMarcus Lawrence if he was going to be ready when they hoist the banner up in New England. And some people believe that was a hint of the Cowboys opening up against New England. I don't know that I would be upset about that one, as Michael Anthony
I
points
wouldn't.
out.
You want to play a cold weather team early in the year.
You know, there's an interesting stat of Jason Garrett.
And I'm glad that Buffalo game is a home game too.
Oh yeah, well, yeah. With Cole Beasley, yeah, you know, because he basically says that the Buffalo shits on the Cowboys and stuff. But you know, Jason Garrett has that crazy record of whenever he wins the first game of the season, they never make the playoffs.
Right.
So whenever they lose, they have made it. So are we hoping that we play New England and lose that game?
Because if we lose, I'm not gonna be mad at all. I'm like, one, it's the Patriots. Two,
it's in the AFC versus the NFC, so it doesn't hurt as much.
It doesn't hurt.
Linehan under the trash. Well, Linehan definitely was some trash. You don't think anyone will be able to contend with us again in the East? I don't think the Redskins and the Giants are. I think the Eagles are still dangerous, but I don't think that. I think the Eagles are still going to be kind of still stepping down a little bit.
I'm excited to see D-Law and Quinn screaming off this edge.
Oh man, that'll be really good.
It's gonna be hell for opposing quarterbacks this year.
That, and I'm also looking forward to see how the defense with Chris Richard basically in charge and having his second year working with the guys. Did you see what happened with your boy, Kevon?
No, what happened to him?
His mother got stuck at the airport. I want to say Delta or American Airlines. Her flight kept getting pushed off because they couldn't get a crew in. She has apparently MS, and she was at the airport all day long. And at the end of the day, they said, "Sorry, your flight's canceled. We can't go today. You'll have to go tomorrow." And didn't even give her money for a hotel room.
Oh no.
So he was tweeting about that, like, you know, shout out to Delta or whoever it is, because, you know, you really did this to my mama, you know.
Well, he had issues with Southwest. I think that was when he came back from his honeymoon, because they took Southwest coming back, and he said it was hot like a sauna.
I see Cowboys Crunks in the house. He's still up over there in Afghanistan. What's going
on, Cowboys Crunks?
Cooper came in and made an immediate impact, so why did Hearns and Gallup never do well? Their stats were extremely poor. Well, Cooper came in and opened up everything for everybody else. Cooper helped literally everybody on the offense. At least I believe that, because for him being able to take it to the house, all of a sudden it was hard for defenses to put 8 men in the box, and you had to almost double team him, which made it easier for Gallup. And Gallup was a rookie. And the thing about rookie wide receivers is, generally speaking, they take time to develop. They don't rarely come out of the box ready to rock and roll. Odell Beckham was kind of like not the norm. Most of them, usually it's a second or third year before you see them really, really get better. But once Cooper got in there, it opened up everything.
You look at somebody like Calvin Ridley. He did well because you got Julio Jones out there.
And Sanu.
And I mean, and Sanu, and Mohamed Sanu.
Right.
You have two capable guys there. That's why I tell people all the time, this whole committee thing. I mean, you could do that with running backs, but you can't do that with wide receivers. You got to have somebody out there that the defense respects. Because if they don't respect the guys that's out there, you're not going to get much production.
Yeah, you're right about that one.
And that's why when Cooper got to the team, all of a sudden the production got better. Everybody else played better.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that with the maturation of Gallup and what he did his rookie year and how he started coming along and the rapport that he has with Dak Prescott right now, I'm telling you right now, next year is going to be a good year for Gallup.
Well, that's the thing. It's going to be interesting to see if Kellen Moore decides to open it up, because I think you've got more speed than we've had. Cole Beasley was really nice in the slot, but Cole Beasley was never going to, really break tackles. He was never going to really get real deep and things like that. If Randall Cobb can get back to form of, say, 2 years ago, getting him on the outside or even getting him on the inside, you've got so many different combinations of things you can do. Whereas Scott Linehan, basically, he didn't use that much motion. He didn't change positions very often. I would have liked to have seen Des Bryant put him in a slot from time to time to try and get a mismatch, just to keep the defenses honest, keep them guessing, but he never really did that much. I'm hoping that from time to time we'll see Amari Cooper in a slot, we'll see him on the outside. We'll do different things to get advantages that will all of a sudden have defenses saying, oh shit, where'd he go? You know what I mean? And that's going to be interesting to see how it goes. With the big question is, because there's still the rumors, of course, of Jason Garrett being replaced by Sean Payton. Do we think that Jason Garrett, since this is his job on the line, is going to be influential on the play calling?
So the front office already said that Jason Garrett is not going to be calling the plays, but I think that in certain situations, if there's a situation that's dire, they might allow him to make a call on it. Mm-hmm. But from what I heard, they're gonna let Kellen Moore do his thing, but they're also gonna have input from the linebackers coach, input from Sanjay Lal, the wide receivers coach, and of course Dak Prescott himself. So it's kind of gonna be like he's gonna be basically implementing what he does game by game, but there's gonna be other fingers in it as well to help out to make adjustments during the game. So again, we're gonna see the Cowboys finally start making adjustments, hopefully. Not without Linehan, because again,
you're right on that one.
This is Jason Garrett's last year. You got to be all in on it, because again, we already know the reason why our offense was stagnant. It wasn't because we didn't have talent; it's because we kept doing the same crap over and over again, and defenses didn't have the game plan for that. You keep seeing the same thing. You're going to be confident. You're going to be out there and be like, "Oh, we're going to stop these guys." They know your tendencies. I know that we're a run-first team, but you have weapons on the outside now. Use them. And I think that if they allow Moore to do his thing, which I think they would, I think we'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Tell us what you got coming up on your channel, man.
Doing my weekly live stream this week. I'll be doing a full mock draft on the Dallas Cowboys this week.
Wednesday night or Thursday night?
Let's say Thursday.
Thursday night. What time?
I normally do it at 9.
9 o'clock. So make sure, everybody, if you have not subscribed yet to my man E2Blu, hit him up, subscribe, ring the bell, and take care of him, because he's great people and all that. And I'll definitely be there watching on Thursday night. Thank you, as always. Tell everybody where to find you.
Those of you that don't already subscribe, it's E2Blu Entertainment. That's where you can find me, guys.
All right. And with that being said, it is 10 o'clock. And hopefully our Dallas Cowboys are in bed because tomorrow they got another workout. Thank God. We're actually getting something going on. As we sit 142 days, 22 hours, 14 minutes, and 30 seconds away from kickoff of the 2019 season. I want to thank everybody for coming in. If you did a super chat tonight, I'll make sure I get you written up, and on Friday we'll do another drawing. Stello 300, you were the winner on Friday night's drawing. Email me so that way I can get you the jewelry back out. But as always, friends, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this does not work. But right now, it's time to turn off the lights because this party's over.
The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing again.